Hey Kangaroos, what's up? It's your buddy Roo and welcome to this first episode or third episode of Dead Rising. In case you're wondering why these videos are shorter, that's because I'm not going to do this as a Let's Play series. I'm gonna do a little review funny moments video with this game, because I feel more comfortable doing these videos. I'm gonna take a little break from doing Let's Play videos. Currently they're not my style. That's not the content I want to do right now, if you know what I mean. I still want to play games, I still want to talk about games, and I think that's the best way to do so. And in the case of Dead Rising, I will take a look at every case. There are cases in this game, like chapters. I'm gonna break it down, I'm gonna talk about the story, I'm gonna talk about the stuff you have to do, stuff you can do, and we're gonna touch a little bit on the achievements you can get in the game. I hope that was easy to understand for you guys, but I think that's enough of introduction. In case you haven't seen my first 3 videos, what is Dead Rising about? Well, it's about Frank West, a photojournalist, and he got a tip about a civil riot, a civil disobedience thing in the town of Willamette, Colorado. And after he arrived there, he finds out there are zombies, real freaking zombies. And there's a whole bunch of survivors holed up in a mall, and zombies get in because of a stupid dog. And now Frank has to work together with the Department of Homeland Security agents, Brad and Jessica, to find this old dude, Dr. Barnaby. He's going to be important later in the story, but we're gonna talk about him once we get to him. So that's pretty much all that happened in the first 3 videos of the Let's Play. So let's move on to Case 2 of Dead Rising. Well, Case 2 starts with Frank, Jessica, and Brad watching the security monitors in the security room and watching Carlito, the guy from the beginning that actually gave Frank the tip to come here, drag away Dr. Barnaby. So of course Brad and Frank head over to Entrance Plaza just to find out that Carlito made a really sick looking piñata out of the professor. Really cool. And of course they have to fight Carlito. So this is like the first fight with Carlito, just with a sniper rifle now. And I didn't really mention the psychopaths in the first 3 videos. There are psychopaths in the game, at least I call them psychopaths. They're like mini-bosses, bosses in the game. You don't have to fight them, but I would highly recommend you to do so, since A, they are a lot of fun. Really crazy characters, they're mostly people going crazy because of the zombie apocalypse. And most of the time, they are connected to the story, those you have to fight. Those who aren't connected to the story often give you better weapons, they drop better weapons, or allow you to save survivors you couldn't otherwise save. That's really important if you're going for the Saint achievement. That's the one that requires you to save at least 50 survivors by the end of the game. It's a really hard achievement, let me tell you. It's really hard. But at least you get a bitching police hat for it, so I guess it's worth it. Of course, Brad and Frank rescue the professor, but Brad gets hurt during the fight, also does Carlito, that's going to be important later. And he's not in a good shape. He's running a fever, he's getting sick, and Jessica is of course really worried about him. So Frank goes out to get some medicine. Well, the good thing is this is all taking place in a big shopping mall. Usually there are pharmacies in shopping malls and supermarkets and stuff like that. And there's a supermarket in the Paradise Mall in the North Plaza. It's called Sion's Food and Stuff. I didn't make up the last part, it's really called Food and Stuff. And Frank goes there to get some medicine, just to be confronted by another psychopath. I think his name is Stephen Chapman, the manager of the market. He got a little bit crazy after the outbreak. Yeah, his fight is pretty easy, well, at least if you get the Mega Man Blaster. Every fight is easy with the Mega Man Blaster. And his death scene is actually pretty disturbing.
My store, my food, my sales, my customers. Have a nice day. Clean up! Register 6!
And funny in some way. But the important part here is that you meet this mysterious woman again from the beginning. We later find out that her name is Isabella, just gonna tell you now. And she talks a little bit more about the outbreak.
You're the ones who caused this nightmare. You ruined Santa Cabeza and started all this.
Well, I'm sure Frank did nothing wrong, except his clothes choice, maybe. So all that's left to do now is to bring back the medicine for Brad, and you will have some time. I guess you will have some time for some side activities. You could use that to start hunting for your achievements. The PP collector, for example. Haha, PP, prestige points. Good one, Capcom. That's an achievement you get after photographing certain places in the game. These places are marked with PP stickers. You can photograph or have to photograph for an achievement. It's pretty easy, actually. I did it with the help of the internet, to be honest. Didn't bother walking around the mall looking for it. But there's one important part in the game for this achievement. I'm gonna talk about it more in the next video, since it's gonna come up there. And of course, there are a whole bunch of survivors you can save. I'm not going to talk about all the survivors you can encounter or save in the game. I'm just going to talk about those that are important, or you should look out or do certain things when you meet them. For example, are Tonya and Ross. They are in a shoe shop in Wonderland Plaza, and at one point Ross asks you to give him a gun so he can defend himself from zombies. You better not do that. You better not do that, or he's going to blow his brains out. Just saying. That's a really bad thing. There are also two Japanese tourists, Chu and Shinchi. Sorry if I butchered the pronunciation, I'm sorry. And that's a really funny side quest, because you have to pick up a book to learn Japanese. It's pretty funny, you should check it out. It's not that important if you're not going for the Saints achievement. And there are also two more psychopaths you can fight. The first one is in the Wonderland Plaza at the Space Rider attraction. It's like an amusement park roller coaster in the mall. And if you start a horror game, you know in some form or fashion there's going to be a chainsaw in it or a freaking clown. And Adam, that's this guy's name, combines the both of them. Of course, there's a fucking clown in this game. And again, his death scene is pretty messed up. Now, Adam is important not because only he gives you a bitching cool chainsaw, this mini chainsaw. Oh, it's amazing. It's one of the best weapons in the game, if not the best, not the best weapon in the game. Defeating Adam also allows you to save Greg. He's a security worker for the mall, and Greg is going to open a shortcut between the Palisade Mall and the Wonderland Plaza, and that's a really good shortcut. It saves you a lot of time, especially if you have to travel with a big group of survivors. It makes the game a lot easier. So go ahead, save him, have fun with Adam. It's a really good battle. Again, if you don't use the blaster, it lasts a little bit longer than 10 seconds. But let's not digress. Let's head on to the second psychopath I want to talk about in the mission The Hatchet Man. Now, The Hatchet Man takes place in a hardware store in North Plaza. And again, there are a lot of funny piñatas hanging from the ceiling. I love it. They look great.
Name and rank, soldier.
You can't tell me, can you, fella?
Here Frank meets Cliff Hudson, a Vietnam veteran that went a little bit crazy after he watched his granddaughter being killed by zombies. And I don't think that's the only reason he went a little bit crazy. I guess someone told him that he looks suspiciously a lot like Michael Rooker. You know, the guy that played Merrill in The Walking Dead. Just look at him. He looks exactly like him. And that's a little bit weird, because this game originally came out in 2006. The Walking Dead, the TV series, wasn't even around at that time. But I digress again. Well, you fight Cliff, or Michael, however you want to call him, and this is the only psychopath Frank really shows sympathy for. It's a pretty touching scene, I have to say. It's a little bit sad. But after you defeated him, you can get a machete and save 3 more survivors. Again, you don't have to save them, but if you want to get the Saint achievement, go ahead and save them. They can be a pain in the ass from time to time. Sometimes they get stuck on things, sometimes they get attacked by zombies and can't defend themselves. It's really annoying, so be sure you really want to save them all. But that's basically all you can do before case 2 ends. All you can do after bringing the medicine to Jessica, and you still have some time left. And the case ends with Frank returning to the safe room and explaining to Jessica what happened in the supermarket.
Huh? Oh, yeah. Must be from that girl I saved.
Girl? Was she hurt?
I offered to help her, but she took off.
Can't really blame her for running from a guy with your looks.
I guess she has a point there. Nevertheless, we learn a little bit more about this Santa Cabeza place. At this point, we don't really know what's going on or what everything has to do with it, but we're gonna learn more about it. Not from the professor, of course, that would be too easy, he doesn't want to talk with us, but maybe that mysterious woman Isabella can tell us more, and to find her again, we have to wait for case 3 to start, and that's going to happen in the next episode. That's the whole video. That was case 2 of Dead Rising. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm having a lot of fun doing these videos. It's just some form of content creation I really enjoy at the moment, and I guess I'm gonna do more with it. If you enjoyed this video too, let me know by hitting the like button or leaving a comment on this video. If you want to become a Kanga Bro today and know when the next video is out, click the subscribe button. I would really appreciate it and love you forever. This is Ru signing off. Bye bye!